Hi, everyone. Today, I am going to be talking about selling with Zia and some of the fantastic things that Zia can help you do to speed up your processes, to sell better, and to provide a better customer experience. So first off, what's Zia? In a nutshell, Zia is our artificial intelligence here at Zoho. She's built on machine learning, and she uses natural language processing, which is kind of a fancy way of saying that she talks to you like a human would talk to you rather than like a robot would talk to you. What's really neat about Zia is that she's predictive. So she can do things like tell you when the best time to reach out to a contact is, or whether or not you're probably going to be looking at some anomalies in your workflows. She's responsive. So you can say to her, hey, Zia, I want to take a vacation starting next Friday for 1 week. Send it to HR. And she will fill out that form for you. She knows when next Friday is. She knows what a week is. She knows what the purpose is, vacation. And she'll send it to HR so you don't have to manually do that anymore. And she's also programmable. So you can program all sorts of skill sets into Zia. Once you program them, they are available to be deployed organization-wide, and they work with Zia Chat, Ask Zia, and Zia Voice, our voice interface. So here we have list view of deals, a whole bunch of deals. We can see in this column right here that there are a whole bunch of different ranges in which the leads are likely to close. So we've got 90 up at the top, all the way conveniently to 10 here at the bottom. So Zia here is helping me to know what the likelihood is that I'm about to close this deal or get this deal. And she's going to lay it all out for me in the list view. It's also available in the predictive view. And here it's been organized so that you can really focus in on those deals that are likely to win or that you might be a 50-50 chance at. Maybe you don't need to reach out today to that person that you're likely to close in the next 30 days. Maybe your attention should really be that 50-50 chance, or maybe those ones that you're likely to lose. But with the predictive view, Zia will organize the tickets so that you can really have a sense of where you should be putting your attention. And there are really advanced filters inside of Zia, and this will help you drill down and get exactly the right metrics set up for what exactly qualifies as a hot lead or a hot prospect or likely to convert. You can also choose to focus on different things in prediction. So which records you want to focus on, whether or not things are trending up or trending down. So she gives you a lot of different ways that you can really customize this predictive model. Another great thing that Zia does for me is she gives me sales tips and alerts. She really helps me to sell better and to keep my eyes on the ball. So here's an example of a dashboard inside Zia. Or inside CRM rather. So you can see we've got a whole bunch of notifications, alerts, predictions from here. Up on the top, she's got a sales prediction telling me by this time in the month, I should have reached $10,000 in sales in order to make revenue. So I'm not close to that yet. What's her response? Well, she's going to push me to these likely to win deals. And you can see that right there. Focus on these likely to win deals. She's giving me an alert that leads for the SMB sign-up form are down 10% this week from last. So she's letting me know that something's happening with my lead form that I probably want to check out. She's also giving me a suggestion. About 3 of my users are spending 30% of their time doing tasks that could be automated. And she's going to point me right to workflow rules so that I can create some automations and macros and get rid of some of that repetitive tasks that those folks are doing. And finally, she's calling my attention to the fact that in my current workflow, a customer is going to receive 2 email templates from me on the same day. So I'm potentially going to bombard my customer. So she's letting me know so that I can intervene and do something before that happens. So another great thing that Zia does is workflow analysis. So here you can see that I changed the template on the trade show leads, and as a result of that change, opens have gone up more than 30%. So that workflow change really made a difference. And you can see that I went from 3,000 open to 3,900 open. Out of 7,800 sent, that's a fantastic open rate. I wish all my emails got opened at that high of a number. But you can see over here, she's really highlighting for me the fact that there's a 30% increase in open rate after modifying the rule trade show leads. So she's telling me what's working and is going to help me to replicate that elsewhere. So one of the things I really love, charts and graphs, I love pictures. One of the great things that Zia does is gives you all sorts of anomaly prediction and analysis, anomaly detection and analysis. So here I've got my outgoing responses. I've got my trend here in the yellow, and in the green is the current series. So I can see that I'm about to hit an anomaly in terms of my outgoing responses. Now, simultaneously up here, Zia is telling me that outgoing tickets have dropped 33%, and that ticket traffic has increased by 40% in the last 2 hours. So she's giving me a bunch of information to act on. If my outgoing responses are going down and my traffic is coming in faster, then I need to act. I need to get more people on the floor, on the phones, on chat. And so she's gonna give me that information along the way. Here's one for task closure. You can see that June was a really good month for me. I was really productive, and then July I just went on vacation and closed no tasks. I guess I went to the beach then. But we can see the trend versus the actual in those places along the line where Zia is noting the anomaly. She's also letting me know that my task closure rate was 100% lower than it is normally. So she's telling me both visually and through the notifications. So one great thing that I find Zia does for me is that she really helps me. She stops me from making mistakes. I don't know about you, I make a lot of mistakes. So Zia helps me from making mistakes by giving me notifications and by watching out for my workflows and my records. So she's trained to look for anomalies in my records and in my workflows. And I can set her up to give me notifications on a whole bunch of different things. What I've got turned on right now are things like records that have been untouched for the last 7 days, or a new email was sent out and there hasn't been any follow-up in the last 7 days, or the same leader contact is going to receive more than one template on one day, or the same template on the same day. So she's going to alert me to all of those things so that I can intervene and act and make sure that I'm not overwhelming my customers and that nothing is falling through the cracks. That's one of the great things that Zia really helps me do, is make sure that all of those little tasks don't get forgotten. She makes sure my workflows work. So you can see this is a workflow that I set up when the lead is trade shows and it's created new, I want to send a welcome email. So I sent out 4,000 emails. She's telling me that none were unsent, that they all got delivered and none bounced. That's a fantastic delivery rate. I don't think real world delivery rates are generally quite that good, but perhaps with Zia they will be. She also enriches my data. And this is a place where she just saves me a ton of time, a ton of scroll time, a ton of time searching on the web, a ton of time doing manual entry. So I got this contact record, or this lead record, and it's pretty empty. But if I click on this drop down under edit, I get enriched data. And that takes me to this screen, which shows me some of the data that Zia has been able to find. So she's been able to find a primary phone number, an alternate phone number, an address, a Twitter handle, basic information like country as well. So she's gone out and scoured the web and has brought this information back to me, filled in these fields. And then all I have to do is just hit update contact, and that record is totally updated with all of the information that she's found. Again, this is going to save me a bunch of time from having to search for that information in all sorts of places on the web. It's also saving me from having to manually enter that information, and it's saving me from having to probably re-enter some of that information because I entered it wrong the first time. So she saves me a lot of time in that way, especially with the data enrichment feature. Zia also tells me when to reach out. So she predicts when the best time to contact someone is. You can see in this list view with all of these tasks, some of which are overdue. My boss would not be thrilled about that. that the best time to contact is going to be a couple of different options depending on who the person is. And this is all based on information that she's learned in the past from your engagements with that contact. So she's going to pull that information up from some contextual data. Inside the record, you can see up here that we get best time to contact laid out really nicely, I think, next to the stage mapping. Stage mapping, of course, is something that you can customize to your needs and really get a more accurate sense of how close you are to closing that deal and how imperative it is that that call gets made. If that time doesn't work for you, she's also going to list off the alternative times that might be possible to work. So you're going to get a couple of options in this best time to contact. Zia also really helps me understand my customers. She helps me know what they're thinking about and how they're feeling without me necessarily having to reach out, and with me just being able to glance at a ticket, not even necessarily having to open an email. So she does this primarily through ticket sentiment analysis. In this case, I'm using email, but it also works on support tickets or sales tickets that are coming in. So here we have an email. Joy, this is something I need to escalate. There were severe problems sending out emails this morning. So clearly, we've got words like escalate, severe. We know that the sentiment on this ticket is probably going to be negative, right? So Zia has predicted here that it's negative. The way that she learns is inside tickets. Here at the bottom, you can see that you can actually train her. She suspects that this ticket is negative. She'll ask you to confirm that when she's learning. And then once you confirm that, she will continue to grow and learn more. You can set her to look at specific things inside those tickets. So Zia comes with some existing sentiment analysis built in. You also can build whatever you want for your organization. So this may or may not be one for a company that sells CRM. When I try to log into Zoho CRM, it says trial has expired. That's probably a negatively rated ticket. Or please look into this ASAP. We've marked that negative too. Whereas something like, this issue relates to the following CRM user. We've listed that as negative or neutral because it's not immediately clear whether or not that's negative or positive. So you can see that you can really train and fine-tune her sentiment analysis to really fit the needs of your customers, of your users. So she also suggests ways for me to save time. And she does this by looking at the actions that I do regularly and suggesting macros. So one action that I do a lot is I reach out to a customer. Inevitably, they don't answer, so I leave a voicemail. I then send an email that is a follow-up to that voicemail, sort of saying, hey, I left you a voicemail. Here's my email saying that I left you a voicemail. I then go in and I update a field status as voicemail left, message left. And then I set a task to follow up 2 days later. That's a whole bunch of clicks that I have to do every time I'm just leaving a voicemail for someone. And unsurprisingly, I end up leaving a lot of voicemails. So I end up doing a lot of clicking. So Zia looks at actions that I frequently use and suggests things like macros to me. So now all of these things, the voice message notification email, the status voice message left update in the field, and then the task creation can all be done with one click through a macro. And Zia will suggest that macro based on my behavior in the product. So you can also ask Zia, and this is one of the really cool things that has been built on the natural language processing that I mentioned earlier. So here's how Zia would appear inside a record ticket. She would just pop up as a chat box, basically. You can ask her a whole bunch of things. She's programmed to be able to answer a number of things already, and you can, of course, train her to answer additional things. So here I've asked her to get me the number of leads created this month by source. We can see that the trade shows really brought in a lot of leads. So did the subscriber list. The license request form, the demo download, those didn't seem to bring in as many people as maybe as I was expecting. So maybe it really is worth focusing my energy on the trade show and the subscriber newsletter, perhaps. But I could also ask her to give it to me as a chart. And so at a glance, I can see exactly where my leads are coming from. And if you are like me, like pretty pictures, you can get a whole bunch of different charts inside of Zia to tell you graphically exactly what's happening with your leads, with your revenue. I can also ask her, what is my revenue this month? And she'll respond, 400,000. That's a pretty good month. Really, you can teach Zia how to talk to you. So you can train her to create events, to attend Zoholics, or call customers, or create tasks. These are all actions that Zia can do for you so that you can actually spend time focusing on running your business, or engaging with customers, or creating that next great product. So Zia Voice is probably one of the coolest aspects of Zia. And it allows you to engage in a conversation with her. So you can ask her, Zia, I want to populate a lead. And she will continue asking all of the necessary questions until that lead form has been populated fully. So I just have a little video to show of Zia Voice in action.
Thanks for calling Zia. How may I help you?
Zia, do we have 10 servers in stock?
Hey Brian, yeah, we have 10 servers in stock.
Call Andrew Smith.
Hey there.
Hey Andrew, good news. We've got the servers in stock.
Oh, that's great.
Do you need anything else?
Only the servers. Could you deliver them this Friday?
Sure thing, I'll send you the order confirmation right away.
Thanks.
Hey Zia, schedule a delivery of 10 servers to 2 Menlo Avenue on Friday, March 10th for Andrew Smith.
You already have a delivery of 25 servers to 6 Showers DR, Mountain View, CA scheduled on Friday, March 10th, 2018. Do you still want me to schedule this one?
Yes.
No worries. I've scheduled the delivery for you.
Zia, create an order for this delivery.
Please check your screen to choose an option. Here you go. I've created the order and associated it with Andrew Smith.
Hey Zia, email the order confirmation to Andrew Smith.
No problem. I've emailed the order confirmation to Andrew Smith.
Thanks Zia.
You're welcome.
So that is all that I have.